just goes the fundamental insanity that you see escalating.
The threat of nuclear war overhangs any conflict with a country that has nuclear weapons, of course. You push someone far enough, you don't know what could happen, and it could result in the extinction of humanity. So that's like the main fact. That's why people want Iran not to have nukes, right? Obviously. So with that in mind, what do you make of the repeated public statements by a bunch of European leaders, particularly Starmer in the UK and the president of France, that they're ready to continue the war against Russia with their own feeble armies? That seems crazy to me. What is that actually about?
They admit that the EU population-wise is collapsing. Those they've brought in, most of them, 80%, never even get jobs. All the different ministers, defense ministers, as you know, the last few years have said, our business model is a 20-year war. They think they can continue that and somehow bankrupt Russia and, again, break it up into 5 parts. So they've made it existential for themselves. They made it existential for Russia. And you go back to the Pentagon assessment that was public, that 50% chance that if we start bombing, and that's the West doing it, mainly the U.S., inside Russia, that they would strike back with nukes. And then Putin clarifying, well, if we see a large launch, it could be a sneak attack with nukes, so we're going to have to go ahead and nuke you at that point. Please don't do that. So at least they limited, to 4 or 5 big cruise missile attacks a day, and then maybe 100 drones a day going into major cities and attacking their nuclear bases, their nuclear bomber bases. I mean, extreme provocation, testing the line, and not playing Russian roulette where you have a 6-shot revolver and you put 1 .357 Magnum casing in, round in, but this is 3 out of 6. And they're like, well, that's a safe bet. Let's roll the dice, spin the cylinder, and then click it to our head every day. It just goes the fundamental insanity that you see escalating. I mean, if you go back to the...
But actual insanity, not, I don't know, will tariffs work or something, whatever you could argue. But risking nuclear war? I mean, that's so fucking crazy that I can hardly believe it's real.
That's a good point. They say Trump saying our surrender to these one-sided trade deals, which is totally true, and deindustrialized us and destroyed our morale, and is a huge national security issue, that he's rolling the dice there. No, it would be rolling the dice
with nuclear war? Again, I think you should be in prison for even having that. That's the craziest thing I could imagine.